Zi. Vrei să ne luptăm? Zi, mă, vrei să ne luptăm? Vrei să ne luptăm? Vrei să ne luptăm? Asta vrei, mă?
So recently I shot a short film. It's called Like Father, Like Son. I say recently, it was actually shot 2 years ago, but it got released at the start of this year. And if you want to go watch that film, it's linked in the description below. Go watch the film and then come back to this video afterwards, or you can do it the other way around. Yeah, Like Father, Like Son was written and directed by my good friend Ethan Porter. So hats off to him for making this happen. And I was a cinematographer on that project. I think we were just a really good team on the short film. It is still ranked highly, probably crowned as my favorite body of work that I've ever shot, even 2 years later. You know, I think it holds up in that aspect. It's in Romanian, shot in Romania. So even that was just very intense, given it's also our first short film that we've ever done. So we really put ourselves in the deep end on this one. I think it really held up, and yeah, I'm really, really proud of everything that we all managed to do. Yeah, I'm happy to present to you a little breakdown of the short film. I sat down with Ethan to talk about some of the production elements and, you know, things that went into shooting the short film, and we go through some of our favorite scenes and break them down for the cinematography, the lighting, and the blocking, which was probably our most anticipated part of the film, was kind of understanding the blocking of making a film, because it's a very hard part and it's the most important thing when it comes to making a narrative film. So yeah, we go through that, and there's a little bit of behind the scenes footage from the making of the film. So yeah, enjoy the trailer, and I will see you with Ethan afterwards.
Suntem bolnavi, Florine. Tu ești bolnav. Eu sunt bolnav. Cu toții suntem bolnavi. Trebuie să ne vindecăm. Ce e, mă, mai important? Zi! Nu te simți deja mai viu?
Când mergem acasă?
Mergem acasă.
How the hell did we shoot this short film in another country, not having done it before and having very limited resources?
Definitely something I've learned as a director through this process is the story needs time to like develop and to understand the characters. With a short film or just any film is just giving yourself again time to understand what the story wants to be and needs to be. It can be easy to rush things, and it took 2 years to make it, you know, it's not like a quick thing.
So we had director, you, DP, me, Costa, AC, Sophie was on sound, Teddy producing, Andrea, makeup runner on set. So yeah, very tight crew. Planning ahead is obviously like the biggest thing, because we planned a lot of it weeks just before we're about to film it. So I think just give yourself like enough time to kind of plan for it, and a good producer.
100%.
Having a good producer that can like take off a lot of weight so you can like actually think about the film itself.
Yeah. In fact, anything you can do to mitigate like other things to worry about other than the film.
A lot of the time you kind of get lost in the production and not actually what you're doing and what you're filming and the story you're trying to tell.
The reverse of that is we planned the shot list so specifically.
Yeah.
I think maybe we didn't then make brave choices in the moment to be like, oh, let's get this might be really cool.
So allowing enough time to like have more of that
in the schedule.
So we went out for 2 weeks with the intention of filming for maybe like
8 days.
8 days.
The 2 weeks leading up to say our first shoot day was just mental. We were all really, really busy with work, and there was a big possibility that we just didn't shoot it. I think we just booked the flights and we're like, we're gonna make it happen. But realistically, we had not that much prepared.
Yeah.
We were super reliant on Teddy just finding our actors.
Guys,
Yeah?
I'm quitting as director.
Huh? Alright, delete the footage, Costa.
We're going to do some scene breakdowns from the film and just cover what went well, what was really challenging, some of the reasons why we shot it the way we did, lens choices, etc. And we're just going to be super honest about how we feel about it. So as the opening shot of the film, it's obviously massively important to just immediately show the world that the characters are in and the power dynamic between the two. And this is like one of the first scenes that we wrote was this like walk in and just immediately you're thrown into the dynamic between the father and the son. And it was quite a challenging scene to get right timing wise with the music in the background. The dad actually has like an AirPod in his in his right ear, which was like playing the song so you could sing along to it, because obviously we're playing it out of a radio, which we put in later. We were committed from the start to doing this long walk-in and then revealing the dad through the doorway. How did you find that as a DP?
So we first committed, like visually, we wanted to all be handheld. So I kind of wanted this shot to be on Steadicam. So I think it's probably the slowest moving part of the film.
Yeah,
so.
it is hard because there's no like motivation for the camera to be walking yet.
Yeah. So I was like almost trying to keep it like as steady as possible.
Yeah.
But I think the shake almost kind of makes it feel
Uneasy. Yeah.
So we've got two lights in the scene. One is coming through this kitchen, which is a 600D, just so we can see the details. And as we come in, we've got another light coming through these curtains, which is basically just diffusing the whole room. The natural feeling of this room. We had no practicals inside, because they don't really have lamps in Romania, do you?
No, they don't. It's quite like a barren room, which I think adds.
Yeah.
I mean, he's smoking inside. It's like it's not feeling exactly cozy. This specific shot was something that I thought was really important from the get-go, was to show this power dynamic between the father and the son. And it's something that we kind of wanted to stick to across the duration of the film, was having the dad higher up than the son in the frame, just to kind of have that overbearing sense over him. Like this opening scene, I think, just sets the rest of the story up in that way. In terms of blocking, we knew this was gonna be the last shot, so we do the long one take walking in, and then we would get singles for dialogue back and forth, and then we just shot this for the last line, and we kind of committed to that in the edit, and we were quite strict, I think, in our shot listing, just in terms of time to get it all done. We were like very lucky that people lent us their spaces to shoot in, so we didn't want to take ages really. We're a small crew.
Yeah, and this is also the first time that we've actually put together a full dialogue film.
Yeah.
So like the blocking was like a very focused part for us, because we'd never really done this before.
What was something that you learned, like working within a crew and like having like relationships in that like high stress environment?
We've come from like very independent filmmaking, so we're very used to having to do like everything all at once.
Yeah.
But I think for this one, I did really want to concentrate on like being the DP and kind of understanding that world. So you had a very specific style for this film, so I was very much trying to like cater for that, but kind of brought my own like edge to it a little bit. Understanding like the relationship between me and you and like how we were going to do that was quite an important thing for me.
I think that relationship is like so key in nailing having a visual style, is that like from the get-go we were like on the same page of like this is how it needs to look, and like not compromising on that style, so the film has a tone. But then also like you already knowing what kind of shot I like, and then I like everything that you do camera wise, so it's like there's no time spent on set just wasting trying to like arguing over a shot, really. It was kind of,
we were pretty much like on the same page the whole time, so it really helps to be on the same page and understand like how each other work. And, like it was good because you were very much with the actors a lot of the time, so I think that was a good experience for you as a director, is to like understand how to work with actors and like understanding how the story would work, and then for me like for that to actually like cut together and how it would actually, you know, come together as a scene, like that was
like blocking.
Blocking was a big learning thing for me, and that's pretty surprised how it actually came together pretty well.
Blocking wise, I think we actually did pretty good.
We nailed it, I think.
As a director, something that I've definitely learned from the film was as like also being a DP, you're very visually focused, and like the actors and the dialogue and the performance is 100% the most important thing in a narrative. So like as a director, obviously you could be a visually focused director, and that's not a bad thing, but just making sure that your focus is on the performance, and that's something that I think I lacked, and I got a bit sidetracked over things like lighting, and that does account for the small crew size, and like we all had to kind of be on it with that sort of thing. So we're going to do a scene breakdown of, I guess, the main location for the film, which is what we spent a week wrecking for, driving around trying to find a cabin, which we didn't even find this cabin. This is
found by Teddy a couple of weeks after we were there with him.
Yeah, it was literally like
a couple of weeks
before
the shoot. Actually. Yeah.
The difficulties of doing it in another country kind of made everything else easier. And the fact that we had a small budget, we relied heavily on location.
Yeah,
and it was actually really, really difficult, as beautiful as the country is, finding something where, you know, as a DP you have loads of variables.
Yeah, and like all the scenes that we kind of knew that we needed to shoot, like if it would work in that place.
The fact that it's at the bottom of this.
It's so good. It was also like very enclosed, so it kind of also added to the story of like the dad is just taking his son to this completely remote area in the mountains of Romania. So there's kind of no escape.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, that's so true. So lighting the cabin, this is quite a challenge because it was summer, so there was a lot of high noon sun punching in. So
this was lit by 2 lights, and because the windows are so small anyway, it kind of adds a lot of shape to the scene. And the only reason why we use lights is just to emulate the sun a little bit more, because we just needed that extra light coming through. And it's probably a good time to kind of talk about the lens choices and camera settings that we use. So we went stop down with the lenses, so we kind of wanted everything in focus.
It meant that we always needed lights.
Yeah, we needed the lights. But we were shooting in the middle of the day for a lot of these indoor scenes. We kind of planned to do that.
Yeah.
And lens choices, we basically went for 35 the whole time.
Yeah.
To keep it as real as possible. Like we're almost kind of fly on the wall watching them do this.
We kind of decided that early on because I just wanted it to not feel like there's a huge separation between the characters and the world that they're in. They're very much like forged by this like hard, you know, life that they've had to go through, and the sort of ruggedness of the landscape. You're still getting all that like grime immediately. I would argue that this scene was the hardest scene to shoot in the whole film for so many reasons, let alone practical ones. For starters, our phone alarms would be going off every like 20 minutes or so with like a nuclear star warning saying that there's a bear spotted within 100 meters of our area, while in this spooky cabin, and Sergio the dad delivering this pretty terrifying monologue around the fireplace kind of just made it feel quite uneasy.
I was absolutely bricking it the whole time.
Yeah, it was genuinely scary.
But it added to the tension of it, which was great.
I think it did.
It's like we're watching the film.
Yeah, the feeling translated. How did we approach this from like a lighting perspective, and how did you as a DP?
Yeah, so lighting, most of the time just the light coming from the fire, but we had to bring in another panel light just to, you know, kick a little bit more light onto the face because you couldn't see anything with the fire just going. Typically with night scenes, we kind of wanted to bring in some moonlight. It's really hard to emulate moonlight. Like, it's so difficult. We did have the lights for it, but we just kind of spotlit it a bit too much.
We had a variety of angles that we knew we wanted to shoot.
Yeah.
If we brought the light closer, it'd be in the frame. But if we diffused it where it was, it wouldn't give us enough.
I think the thing that I would have loved to do is to kind of show a bit more of the grass. Like, kind of probably would have felt more real.
Yeah.
We were kind of just trying to light his face at this point. So.
But what I really love is him getting up and falling out of the light. We probably could have had the panel light move so that it was on him for that whole stand-up. It feels far more ominous and natural for him to like step out of the light and then turn around and the fire lights him from below.
Yeah.
In the script, we knew that halfway through the line getting repeated over and over that it becomes like a mantra, and that contextualizes our second montage sequence, which I really love. That was another thing that we really struggled with, doing a montage and finding things which we could shoot, which was free effectively.
Yeah.
Natural light, getting a lot of coverage basically.
Yeah, because that was the only thing that we didn't really have like planned out on the shot list is what they would do in these moments.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we reused a lot of the scenes that we'd already shot and like carried on that scene without making it a scene.
Feels like the film is on the up in their relationship. It could almost end there, the film, you know?
Too happy for us.
It's too happy for us. We're sad boys, really.
This was a fun scene to shoot.
One of my favourite scenes, just from a lighting perspective as well. I think we blocked this the night before and
Yeah.
quickly decided that we just wanted it as one long take. Which meant that we just had to use the practical in the room.
Yeah.
Which just felt way more natural anyway.
I think we made that choice because we saw that the night before.
Yeah.
We saw how like lovely it looked. The only light that we had in this scene was the moonlight in the foreground here. And yeah, having the practical, just like the color contrast just looks so nice.
Again, we wanted quite a naturalistic feeling. So him coming into the frame and holding for a little bit and then doing this sort of walk-in, kind of mimicking our opening shot, kind of felt like we're sticking to a rule of this sort of handheld fly on the wall approach. I think your camera work here is my favourite in the whole film.
I was kind of very much like going off of what they were doing. Obviously the one shot I can't really do too much, so following their movements is the best thing I can do in that moment. We kind of just let them do their thing.
Yeah, they had sort of markers to be like, okay, you need to get into the moonlight at this point, you need to fall down the floor at this point, but besides that,
yeah, they just did their thing,
just
followed them.
Shooting in another country comes with a level of responsibility of respecting that culture and going in with an understanding, and having Teddy, obviously he translated the script for us, and it being an open conversation with the actors of how does this translate to Romanian. Before every scene we'd have a conversation of like, does this feel right? Should we swap out certain words? And they'd explain to me, yeah, there's so much difference in intonation, and it's a beautiful, eloquent language which like has so many words, which ended up meaning the scenes were a lot longer than expected.
Yeah, that was
but basically, make your short film, and even if it's shit, at least you've made it. Go watch it and tell us if you think it's shit. Actually, I don't want to know. I don't.
Just watch it.
Just watch it.
Have your own opinions.
Alright, stop drinking the pen.
I need something to hold.
Clammy hands.
We went a year after.
For fuck's sake!
Oh, I forgot that we were meant to look at each other.
It was very much just like we were just there to.
Just don't look at me.
I was told to by the director.
Just very slow down.
You just see me out the peripheral going.